Hello guys, welcome to another video. And today I'm going to show you how you can make a simple toaster in vanilla JavaScript without anything. So this is pure vanilla, which is very easy, and you will learn about, let's say, appending elements to the DOM using JavaScript and assigning class names and pretty much some animations, if I'm not mistaken, like variables, yeah, CSS variables and such. So this is to get to know more about, relationship between JavaScript DOM to manipulate, well, the DOM or the HTML that you have. So for example, if I click the show toast, it will show, well, a toaster. And as you can see, there's a progress bar wherein when it reaches 0 or the very end, it will, well, slide to the right. And I can end this early as well by clicking close, go, do this a lot, go, close that, go. Okay, so let's start making this. First, let's open our code editor. Okay, so we have an empty HTML file, empty JavaScript file, empty CSS file, and a public folder just to get the fonts going on, which is what we have here. This is the font that we have, just to, copy the same thing. Okay, anyway, let's start to make our mockup HTML file first. All right, this is actually the, okay, okay, there we go. A very bright screen. So this is live server from an extension. So I don't know how to like make a live server yet. So I'm relying on an extension in, well, you can use any IDE you want, but I'm using VS Code. So yeah, first I'm at shortcut, exclamation mark, and just name this a title into poster. I don't know. Then have a link towards, why is the still isn't showing script HTML? Oh, well, let's give it source. Such as link rel strategy type as ref. So what I'm doing right now is just linking to the relevant files. I'm linking to the relevant style sheet, which is linking to it, and a script, which is a script tag to connect a script to an HTML file. Okay. Okay. So now let's start building the HTML. So pretty much all we need is a div with an ID. I think it's not allowed in normal HTML. It's nothing closing tag. So like this, then give them an ID of toast container. So this is going to be the main container of all the toaster that we will generate. Okay. And then we can have it, we can add attributes to it as well, which will be, let's say, the default values. For example, how long will this toast stay? The default value for that would be duration. So we can say the duration would be whatever we want. So let's say 3000 milliseconds, or in this case, 5000 milliseconds or 5 seconds. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Then just for like examples sake, you can also have a button with an ID of show toast. Yeah, just say show toast, just like so. What else do we need? Yeah, I think that's it. All the things that we will be doing will be in JavaScript and CSS. Okay, so now let's go to CSS and start styling. Okay, here we go. So first, let's style the children of the body, or the body, I guess. Of course, we will be using CSS properties or variables in CSS. So you can just declare it out here, and we'll have background. I want it to be dark, so I guess it'll burst. This will be HSL, so hue, saturation 2%, lightness would be 12% or 8%. So that would be dark, foreground. So to declare CSS properties, just use two hyphens and then after that would be whatever name that you want. So foreground, so lightness will be around white. Excuse me. So we have post background as well. So I guess just to keep it explicit, we'll say background instead of BG. So let me just grab the color that I had earlier. Okay, where is it? Uh-huh. Toast BG, toast BG. I forgot to turn on my noise cancellation. It's okay. Okay, there we go. So 10% saturation and still pretty dark. Then we need the toast ranges. And I guess we can just have the ranges as guess. The general radius of our elements. Yeah. Then we'll also have a toast width. How wide do we want our toast to get? So I'm just going to clump this up. So like a minimum of 4 rem. So when it reaches 4 rem, we don't want this to decrease anymore. We want it to stay at that value of width or what or when wherever we declare this pretty much height with margin, whatever. Then a calc, just calculate wherein we will add 0.25 rem per 95% of the viewport. Or you can also do something like just pretty much 95 viewport width or percent if you like. Percent means 95% of its parent container's width. And viewport is the main viewport overall, which is the screen that you see or the web page itself. Okay. The maps are 75.75. So I'm just copying what I had earlier just to get exact results. Okay. I will be explaining this to you guys anyway, so why not just copy paste? What else do we have? All right. The duration. Do I need duration? Okay, no. Right, I think that's it. Okay, so let's put the colors to the body now. Background color is HSL or just like so. So to access the values of a variable or CSS property in CSS, you just do something like this. Var, parentheses, and then whatever variable that you want to get. Color, foreground, of course. Okay. What else? All right. Font family. Font family would be Pixeloid, sans serif. And I forgot that I should actually declare the font families. So to declare font families, either you can import from whatever link you can import from, like Google Fonts. But to have like local stuff, you can say font face. Okay, and there we go. Then font family would be what name will we give this for us to access this in our style sheets. In this case, we have Pixeloid Sans, so just like this Pixeloid Sans. Okay, and then most of the time it's better to have some kind of to check rather if a user currently has this font locally. So I guess we can just say local, get this font name, and if it doesn't exist, then just get this URL. And this URL will be absolutely inside the public folder, just like so. The fonts, then selected. Let's grab this one. Okay. Then have format. This one would be true type. And then font weight. So when will this be accessed? Will it be accessed when we have a font weight of 500 and a font family of Pixel Sans? Then this is when we'll access it. And then for what do you call this? Font bold, because we only have bold and medium here for Pixel Sans that I got. So this is not mine, of course. This is accessed in the internet. So Yeah, here's the license for it. But anyway, let me proceed. We have local as well, pixeloid sans as well. Yeah. Then URL, public, fonts. Okay, let me remove that. Isolated, and then oh, there we go. Format. So formats are pretty much from format of fonts. So if you're not familiar with it, I recommend you go read about it because I'm also not familiar that much. True types and OP types are the two main ones, if I'm not mistaken. And WOFF or WOFF and WOFF2 are the like free ones. I'm not sure. Okay. Then this one will be font style, oblique. Okay. Is it oblique? No, I think it's not oblique because it's not italic. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. Let's go with that. Save that and refresh. Hopefully. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Then I'll just give a reset style to the bottom and also a display width just to centralize the button that we have. Center. All right. And then right height of 100 dvh. So dvh pretty much means dynamic viewport, and what this will do in css is that it will check if there's like something below, which is for example in mobile phones we have a like a tab below, like home button, back button, whatnot. Okay, border radius or radius. Okay, background color. Guess we can grab the primary color that I had, like so, down here. Okay, then just say HSL or primary color HSL or primary foreground. Yeah, what else? All right. Height is 2.25 rem. Padding is 0.5 and 1 rem, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. So this is happening right now because our body is in display grid and we have two elements like this. And our toast container is actually going to be fixed. So let's just do that. So grab it by its ID, because why not? So this is not usually recommended if you want to reuse the styles for toast container, but you know, position of fixed. So fix it on the viewport or on the HTML page. Then whatever position we want it to be in. If you want it to be at the top, we say top 0. If you want it to be at the bottom, we say bottom 0. Okay. And then right. Then that's the same for horizontal, right and left. Save that. As you can see, it's not working yet. So I just want to copy it actually. Wait, is the font family not working? Let me check. I think it's not. Pixeloid sans. Let me check. Oh, padding is wrong. I missed a unit. Okay. And then cursor, of course. Pointer. Okay, what are we missing here? Hmm. Let's see. I think we're not getting the fonts here. Why is that? Let me check. Okay. Um. Yeah, I think that's not going to work. Interesting. I don't know why it's not working though. It's not reading the file. Like here, it's not getting it. Hmm. Do we really need to use a relative path? Do we need to use a relative path? No, we don't. Hmm. Huh. Okay. Yeah, it's not working. Oh well, let's just go with, I don't know, Roboto. Wait, what do we have? Oh, maybe Ariel. Let's go with Ariel. Ariel, I don't know. Okay. Let's move on. This, I need to search more about that. Okay. Uh, Now that we have styled the toast container, all we really need to do is to make the logic up down here. Okay. So first, let's actually grab the two things that we have, which would be the toast container, const toast container is equals to document dot get element by, okay, a typo error. So we're going to get the toast container element, which is a div with an ID of, well, toast hyphen or dash container. And with this, we'll be able to get that element or get the reference to that element, okay? And we can do some operations to it as well. And the same for the button, which would be show post button. Let's document get element by ID. So what was its ID again? I forgot. Let's see here. Show toast. Okay. Yeah, show toast. Okay, so when we click on it, we will show the toast. Okay. So we'll have a function here, which is going to be show toast, of course. Then this will accept some arguments. We will have inside of inside of an object, of course, and then okay. So this will accept an argument of an object, which can be anything. So object, and then this object would be equals to, let's say, const object. This will have the title of the toast, the description of the toast, and then whatever, excuse me, options that we have as well, like the duration, how long will this toast stay? And up here, we'll just declare a constant here, const toast duration, which is equal to, so if we have a duration for the toast container dot get attribute, so we will get the attribute of the toast container element, and whatever attribute we pass onto it, it JavaScript will get it for us. So let's say we want to get the attribute of the data duration, okay? And then the value for that will be given back to us. And then we just need to convert this into a number. So we'll say, so, and if it doesn't exist, we want to give, we want this to become, let's say the default is still 5,000. Just like that. And the duration would be toast duration. Okay. And in here, I'm just going to destructure the object to make our lives easier. We have the title, description, and the duration. So this is where TypeScript really comes in handy, or like types in general, typed languages, because you'll know what type it is in advance. And if you have your IDE configured to show you the types, like in StyleSense, then you will have a much efficient coding. But anyway, so whenever we want to show the toast, well, we want to show the toast. So how can we show the toast? Well, there is what we call the append method in JavaScript. So you have toast container dot append, as you can see here. So what do we want to append inside of this element? Okay, as you can see, what nodes, or in this case, nodes would be the elements that we will create. So nodes are pretty much just the elements inside of an HTML document. Of course, the comments are also included, just like here. Comment, element, and if not mistaken, I think attributes are also considered as well. I'm not sure though about that. Anyway, this is going to be our weapon, I guess you can say. So what are the things that we need? Well, we need to create um, the overall toast. For example, over here, and I click, we will need to create this container right here, the one that slides to the left and slides to the right when it exits. So we'll just say const container is equals to document. We will create an element, which is div here, okay? And so we can actually abstract this to just say create div, then it will return to us this. So maybe we can have something like, so we don't have to call document dot create element every time. Is just return. So this is an implicit return. You can also remove the brackets like that, but most of the time I prefer using brackets for no, it's not called brackets, parentheses for implicit returns. Okay, anyway, let's call the create div. Then now we will have a div inside of this container, or rather this is now a div element, as you can see here. Excuse me. And this div, we will just want to give this a class name, or in this case class list. We want to add a list of class names. So the first class name that we want to add would be, let's say, animate slide left, because we want it to slide to the left, just like what we had earlier. Then we just need it to give a class name of maybe toast card or something like that. Okay, yes, toast card. Then of course, to let's say we just want to give it an ID to label it and to scale it up, like for the future we can have like a reference to that ID. We can use that ID to remove the toast. Okay, for example, we have an ID. So we have a function call. So onk. And then, for example, we're waiting for something. So we're showing a toast which says loading. And then inside a different function, which is totally irrelevant to this, we need to have a way to remove the toast. Well, let's say that remove toast, or rather, not that, but toast. Okay. Hmm. My method is different actually. Goodness. Toast remove. Oh yeah, I think it's still the same. So toast container dot remove child. Then we can just grab that. So document dot get element by ID, and then the ID of that toast. Okay. Now my method here is different, but I think it's pretty much the same, right? Hmm. We'll see later on if it's the same or not. Okay. Anyway, let's just give this an ID. So container dot set attribute. So the attribute would be the ID and the value would be the second parameter. Okay. So we'll just generate an ID for this guy as well. So we can say up here const gen ID is equals to. So I guess we can say ID length, and default value of ID length would be okay. So we'll have const alphabet because we will look through the alphabet. So alpha numericals, I guess, alpha numericals. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, element. Yes, URST will be x of x y z 1 2 3 4 0 1. Okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So there might be a better way to do this, but just for simplicity's sake, I can do it like this. So we're just going to get the length const item length, I guess we can say. It's equals to, so since this is a constant, oh no, is it a constant? You know what? I think it's not a constant. So by that I mean like it depends on this guy. So we'll just say answer length. Okay, and should be alphanumericals. Say dot length. Okay, the length of this string right here. Then we're just going to loop through the ID length. So as long as I or index is less than alphanumericals length, we'll increment I by 1. Then we'll have let ID equals to an empty string. We'll have const random index. So math.floor. So round this off by below its integer value. For example, 4.5 would be rounded down to 4, 4.7 rounded down to 4, 5.8 rounded down to 4, no matter its decimal value, even if it's 5.4, 5.5, whatnot. Just get a random value, and its maximum range would be equal to the length of the alphanumericals, length minus 1, because we will grab an item from the string based on what we get here, okay? And since an index in JavaScript, and I think other languages as well, starts from 0, then you just minus it by 1, okay? So we'll say index plus, or rather ID plus equals. So the current ID, so the new ID would be equals to the current ID plus whatever value that we get. So that or add random index, okay? And that's pretty much it. Then we'll just return the ID. So that's our ID generator. So just say const ID equals to gen ID, and should be toast ID just for namesake, like so. Okay, and we can say here toast ID. Okay, all right. And then just to make it like more explicit, we just say toast, then the toast ID. Oops. So template literals, and then what was it called again? So there's a name for this, the dynamic thingy concatenation. But yeah, this is a template literal right here, backticks. So yeah, then you can declare a dollar sign and then brackets or curly braces. Then whatever is passed on here is considered a variable in JavaScript inside the curly braces. Yeah. Then we just give this what else? All right, we'll just give this a role. So this is just for ARIA or accessibility stuff. Notification. Like that. Okay. So now let's actually see if this works or not. So we just want to append this to this guy right here. Append container. And it should work. So we have mm, oh wait, this one should be ID length. ID length. So then we'll have above show toast button, add event listener. So every time we click on this button, we just want to run show show toast with the title of toast description I am toast. So we can say hello world. Hello world, like that. And let's check the inspect tab. Okay. Oh, we get an error. I is not defined. Hmm, first try, you know. Okay, we get an error here. Try that again. There we go. As you can see, we get the thingy appear. So let's actually implement the removal or the automatic removal of the post first before we get to its contents. So to automatically get its or to automatically remove it, we just apply a timeout. And we need this timeout to be appended or to be grabbed by a variable, or we need to initialize this with a variable. So the value of the variable timeout will be equals to what is returned by setTimeout. Okay. And we will actually reuse the logic here. So we'll just say const remove post is equals to like so. Okay. So we can actually remove this and not have this as a closure. Then we'll just provide a variable which would be toast, or we can say toast ID, and then yeah, I think that's it, toast ID. Okay. Then we can say remove toast, and then we'll have an event handler which will be toast duration, or a duration for the set timeout, which would be this right here. Okay. And then set timeout, we can actually declare arguments for the callback function, for its callback function over here. So we can say post ID like that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this should work. So we'll just say const post equals to document dot toast ID, or rather get element ID. You know what? Let's have a function again. Const get element by ID to ID. Because I'm pretty lazy to. There we go. We get element by ID, toast ID, or toast ID, not toast container. Okay. And then if the toast does not exist, you can just console.log toast does not exist. So if you're curious, toast is pretty much a name for notifications in, well, if I'm not mistaken, applications. Well, all I've known right now is just toast in, websites. Yeah, just return so that over here we don't run it. Toast container that remove child toast. Okay, see if this works. So on 5 seconds, this should be removed if I click on this. So wait, did it work? Hmm. Malicious. It's not done. Toast does not exist. Interesting. Is this running instantly? Let me check. Okay. So that means we were wrong about this. I see. Well, I wanted to try it. Child, toast. Oh, wait. ID, toast ID. Okay, so it does not exist here. That means this is not working. Okay. I was wrong about set timeout, I guess. Arguments. Wait, let me try to read up on it real quick. Hmm. Well, I guess it does work this way. Let's just go with what I did earlier. So this is like impromptu because I actually thought that maybe we can use IDs. But I guess I will explore on that more in the future. But for now, let's do what I actually did. Okay. So we'll just have, so I'm here. We're in this timeout. after the toast duration occurs. So we'll have a closure here, const remove toast. Just say toast container dot remove child, which would be the container node. Okay. So now let's see if this will work or not. Toast. Okay. Test this out. There we go. We have a toast here. Let's see if it vanishes or not. There we go. So this one works because this is declared right here. So I don't know why like getting it by ID doesn't work. Do they have differences? Hmm. Yeah, definitely need to research more about that, but let's proceed. And we just have, okay, so this is the automatic removal. So how about the animations? Well, it will be pretty easy. For now, let's actually build the overall UI for the toast. So, okay. So we need a container for the text and then as well as the button, just like what we had from this guy. Oh, what happened? Oh, it reloaded. There we go. Okay. So we have const text container. So pretty much the same thing, create div. In here, just say text container class list, but add say text toast. So just it's better to like add a toast as a prefix and then whatever class name you want. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Now we have const. So the title for this toast. So we'll have title or toast. Yeah, toast title equals to, yeah, let's go with creative. And then toast title dot set attribute. Okay, we'll say what is it? A real label. So the label for this would be mm, oh no, is it a real label? Yeah, it's a real label. hmm The toast ID or the title rather. Okay, title provided to us. So then title toast title dot text content, or we can also do inner text like this. So what this means is that we're going to assign, well, the inner text or the text node of this element equal to whatever title was passed. Okay, then we'll just say post title dot set attribute, or rather class list dot add post title like so. Then we'll also have the description, which would be pretty much the same post description. All right, one thing that I forgot is the area labeled by. So area labeled by means that this element is labeled by whatever value is passed on. Okay, labeled by. So we'll have post description post ID. Okay, so this is the importance of ID. So we'll just create div again. We can create a span, but in this case, I'll just create a div because why not? Dot class list dot add post description. Then toast description set attribute real label is equals to toast description, or rather it should be equal to the description. Okay, and then we'll say toast description or set attribute the ID for this guy would be equal to the area labeled by value of the container. Okay, so toast description, then toast ID. So okay, then the inner text for that, or text content, you can say so, because I have two methods here: text content, inner text, equals to the description that was passed on. All right, one thing is that if description exists, because we can also say that we don't want this toast to have any description. So I guess this one should be a title, actually. Title. Post description, set attribute, ID, post title, post ID. Like so. Okay. And in here, we'll just say that post description, if it exists, or rather, if the description was given, we'll just do something like this. Okay. And of course, we should append the title to the text container. So text container that append toast title. So then down here, if the description exists, we'll create the toast description, and then we will append that to the text container. And then at the end, we will append the text container inside the container. So down here, container that append text container. Okay, so now let's check this out and see if it works or not. Okay, there we go. What's the error? Get access toast description before initialization. Hmm. Toast description. Where's that? Ah, I see. Oh, was it not saved? Let's try it now. What? Ah, I see, I see. There was a typo error. Should be toast title. Okay, that should work now. There we go. So you can see it's working fabulously. And if you wait, it will be removed. Just like so. Yeah. Now we have two more missing pieces. And those are the button and the progress bar. So for the button, we can have right down here. This one should actually be over here as well. So we'll have a const close button equals to, let's create it, create element. We will create a new button element. And then close button. Mm, what will we give this? Class name. That's class list add close button. Then we'll just set an attribute for, again, accessibility, which would be area controls. Okay, area controls. This button controls what element? Well, it's the element with the ID of toast, then whatever ID we generated, like that. What else do we need? Ah, so we need to make a custom close button. We need two inline elements, which can be the tag I. It's just letter I, or the tag span, or whatever inline elements that exist out there. That of course should not hold any meaning, just like span or I. So just loop twice. 0 I is less than 2, so we're going to loop twice. So we are going to create span 9 document dot create element span, then we'll just append that to the close button. Okay, just like so. Very easy. Uh-huh. What else do we need? Oh yeah, the progress bar. Okay, so below, actually put this down below, just like so. Then we need the one last thing, which would be the progress bar. Okay. So this will just be a div and not a real progress tag to make our lives easier, because we will just be animating this. Okay. So const progress bar is equals to document dot create element. Again, another div. Oh, of course, we have the create div function here. So create div, and then progress bar, just to maybe, I'm not sure if this is like acceptable, but we'll just say this, the role of this is a progress bar. Because we're literally seeing the progress at which the toast will exit or be removed from the DOM or from the page. So we can just give this a style or a class list equals to toast progress. Okay. Then we will give this an inner property of, so this is one of the things that we can learn as well in JavaScript, is wherein we can set an inline property to an element. Is it a function? Oh yeah, it's a function. Okay. So to set an inline property, we just say what is specified in the instance. Very nice. So the property name, which would be animation duration, and then the value, which would be toast, or yeah, what what was the variable name again? Toast duration. Oh, duration only. Okay. Duration dot to string. Do you need it to dot to string? Or is it already a string? I think it's already a string. Interesting. It's not showing any errors. Huh. Well, just to be safe, let's convert this into a string like so. Okay. And then we'll just append it down here at the end. So we'll say container that append progress bar. Then we'll also append the button. Container that append close button. Okay. And that's pretty much it. All up, excuse me. Now all that we need to do is to style this bad boy out. So we check here, everything should be in place. There we go. As you can see, the button also is over there. Okay, so all right, this button should be above. So if you also noticed, based on the order that we specified the append, is also the order of the, like the order of hierarchy of the elements here. So you can see. Okay. All right. Forget one more thing actually, is to append a listener to the close button. So it should be above actually. Mm. So this is where it comes, the early exit, wherein if we press on the close button, we will just exit or remove um this toast. So when we click, first we want to clear the timeout, okay? Because we don't want it to stay now. Clear timeout. Timeout. And then after that, we just run the remove toast, just like so. Okay. So now if you click on this, it's being removed very early on. Excuse me. Okay, now let's get to styling. So I actually don't want to remove this very quickly. So you can say 20 seconds. Okay, let's get to styling. So we had the class names from over here. First thing that we will style would be the container. So we have post card. So what do we want this to be? To have? We want this to have a margin of 0.5 rem vertically, and then 1 rem horizontally. Okay? Oh no, maybe 1.5, 1.25, and then 1 rem vertically. Then a padding of 1 rem, a border radius of the radius that we have, okay? A width equal to the toast width, and background equal to the toast background. Excuse me. What else do we have? So toast width. All right, the border. So we'll just have a border here, border color rather. So, okay. So we'll just apply that to everything actually. Border color is HSL var border, like so. Okay, we'll give this over border 1 pixel solid just to override the default border that we have for buttons. Okay, so border 1 pixel or 2 pixels solid. All right. Okay, please bear with me. Good. What else do we need here? The width. Yeah, let's check this out. There we go. Very nice. Yeah, we're seeing some progress. Let's also add a shadow. Box shadow. Declare it up here. Small shadow is 0 pixels, 2 pixels down below, 4 pixels spread. So spread is like how thinned out this shadow is. The higher it is, the more spread it is. Oh, yeah, self-explanatory. It's pretty hard to explain, but when you get the hang of it, it's like, oh, okay, this is how it works and such. Let's go black. And then display flex. No. Okay. Position relative. Okay. Relative like so. Then z index of whatever z index we want, because we want this to be above elements every time. So in our example, it's not really important, but just take note of that. We need this to be above everything, every element. Okay, pardon me, I think the noise suppression disappeared, so now it's back. So if you heard some noise, thank you for staying. Okay. So now we can go to the text container. Toast text container. This one is doubled. Let's see this. That. Then skip the display of flex direction, volume gap of 0.5 run. That's pretty much it. Yeah. And then toast title. We can give it a font size on mobile, font size of 1 rem. Then toast description on mobile, a font size of 0.875 rem. So if you don't know where I'm getting these values, I'm getting it for Tailwind CSS because I memorized it. I know, but yeah. Media and screen and so the media screen and a min width. So if our viewport is at least as a width of 768 pixels, so around tablet width. So how big your tablet is, probably around that much. We want these two elements with the classes of toast title whatever we declare inside would be a class as well. And this will follow the rules of specificity. That's why it's very important. Font size 1.175 RAM, font size 1 RAM, like so. Okay, so now we have that done. Let's actually give this a font weight of 700. That's it. Let's go to the close button. So close button. We also need actually one more thing here, which is a close button container. Now that is because we're going to declare this button right here to be a relative for so we can manipulate where is it, the span down here. Okay, now I think we don't actually need it. Okay, let's try actually. Let's just try it for now. I keep trying a lot of things on the video. Oh my goodness. Position absolute with of 2.25 RAM. Right, 2.25 RAM. I think that's too big actually. So let's go with 1.5. That should be good. Border radius, not important, but let's just put radius, and that's it. And then we'll declare the spans to have a position, or rather a width equal to 100%, and the height equal to, let's say, 0.1. Background color equal to foreground, or foreground. So color white if the background is black. Okay. Then the border radius, half of the border radius that we have, radius over 2. Okay. So this will calculate this expression inside for us. What else do I need? All right. So the first child of this button, which is a span, the first child that is a span would have this property of transform, rotate 50 degrees. Okay. And the same thing for the last child. And since it's only the two of them, it doesn't matter about how we use the pseudo selectors. Okay, let's check that out. Okay, ooh, yeah, it's totally not working because this has a class name of, or has a position of static, while this is absolute, and we're saying to take the width equal to 100%. Right, so background transparent. Let's try to give this the width and see how it goes. Okay. Yep, still doesn't work that way. Let me check. Aha, there we go. Display of inline. So my bad, should be inline block. Yep. Yep. Okay. That's good. However, if you noticed, it's going overboard of the button, and the button has a type of absolute. So to fix this, of course, we need a container. So const close button container. Just a create div, and then close button container that class list that add close button container. Okay, Then we're just going to append that down below, right here. Append post button. So very nice. Then now we can say on the CSS file to have a position of absolute. So absolutely position this to the toast container, okay, which is what we see here. This is the toast container here, the block, toast card, whatever. Okay. I think I messed the text appending here. Okay, it should be down below, like right here below the title. Okay. All right. Yeah. Position absolute, and then top of 0, or I guess in this case 0.5 rem. So place this at the top of the card, or toast card, and then go down by 0.5 rem. So the same. Place this at the right part, or at the very end, which is the right of the toast card of which this element is currently residing in, since the toast card has a position of relative, right? Yeah, as you can see. But I want you to move this to the left by 0.5 rem from the right, okay? So 0.5 rem from the right of the toast card, or whatever parent element that this position is positioned absolute in. Of course, that element, or rather that parent element, should be relatively positioned to the viewport, or in this case should have a property of position relative. Okay, excuse me. So if I say this to be equal to relative, then this one be 20%. This one will have top 0 or 50%. So half go to the very top of the element and then go down by half. Or rather, in this case, we can just say 50% from the top. Okay. And still the same. Sorry to refresh again. Okay, so where are we getting here? What mistake do we have? Oh, I think we're not appending it. Close button container. Yeah, we're not appending it to the... Yeah. Like so. I should do it. Okay. Okay, now it's on the right, but probably a problem with the span. Oh, right. Oops. Display inline block. Okay. What else do we need? So we're messing here. Uh-huh. Oh. Ah, position absolute. Of course, I forgot. Okay. There we go. Okay. And of course, the left position. Like so, and that is one funky ass. Oh, I think I should filter that out. Was that all right? I don't know. It's one funky looking X button right there. Let's see the problem for that. Okay, so we had the padding. Okay. Oh, what? Seriously? So what about the width? Let's see. Try 2.5 here. Okay. Oh, mamma mia. That's why this was funky looking, because my selector was broken down here. There we go. Yes. Oh, oh my ma. You know. Excuse me. Okay, let's remove the border of this guy. The zero. Oh, what? Oh, oops. Not you. It should be the button, not the span. Oh, yeah, we did it. We did it, bro. Let's go. Okay. And this is too big, so let's just make this smaller again. Maybe 1.5. Oh, not 1%. 15, I guess. 125. Okay, make it. Okay, there we go. Not bad. As you can see, it's working, and you can actually leave off here, but you know, let's build the progress bar as well. It should be pretty easy, honestly. Well, in here you will learn about keyframes, so let's go with toast progress. And actually surprised me that I was able to build this, because I was just looking for a way to not use libraries, because libraries already exist for this kind of stuff. And I just thought like, oh, why don't I build one? And here we go. And I will actually try to like expand on this after this video. Yeah, very interesting. Where was I? Progress bar. What was the class name that I toast progress? Okay. So first we want this to have a position of absolute, because we want this to positioned or to be positioned at the bottom. Okay. And then we want it to start at the left and have a width of 100%. Excuse me. So now a height of 0.25 rem, I guess, and then background color. Let's just give it a background color equal to the primary color of our overall CSS, or root rather. Okay, so if we check that, as you can see, we have a progress bar. Very nice. And what can we do to improve the looks? Maybe add a back shadow. Yeah, that might do it. So small shadow, black over 20. Did that do anything? I don't know. Maybe it did. I guess that's good enough for now. Okay. All right. So first, let's go with the animate. Animate slide left. So we can just say animate slide left. The elements with this class name, we want to give it an animation equal to excuse me. So animation. Do I have the illustration up here? Okay, good. Slide left. So the name of the keyframe that we will be handling later on, which will handle the animations for this guy, or keyframes. The properties, so transform, what kind of font size do we want it to have at this specific part of the keyframe. So it's from 0% to 100%. It will fulfill, well, a whole animation or keyframes. It can either go infinitely, forwards, or backwards. So you can read it in the docs. It's pretty clear. They explained it very well in a lot of articles out there. So yeah, I might actually make a blog about it in the future. But anyway, I want to grab the local variable that we set for this guy, which I forgot to set actually, because we want everything to be dynamic, you know. So in this case, we'll just set for the animate slide left, or for the container, we want to set an inner, no, not an inner, yeah, an inner style or inline style of a property of animation duration equals to the duration. Okay, then just to be safe, we'll just convert that to a string. Okay, so now we can say over here, var, the duration for this animation will be equal to var I forgot to add ms here. There we go. For animation duration, and then we'll go with is, or I will grab a cubic visor. So what is cubic visor? Well, it's pretty much just cubic. So you should be an expert in cubic visor, so like this gets started and stuff. But there's this website which is very nice. You just say go, then you can compare how it will be animated in your essay website. You can see like how fast it is. Goodness. And a very slow one. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to grab the cubic visor that I had from earlier. So these names, which is in, out, and then linear, are pretty much cubic visors, and it's given to you by CSS, or given to us by CSS. Of course, we want this animation to continue on forward. So we want this element to pertain or to persist the state at the end of the animation. And by that I mean keyframes the name, slide left, then from, excuse me, transform, translate x 100% from where it's originally at to transform, translate x 0. Okay, so now this should work. I show toast, and we're getting errors. Oh, oh right, 300 ms. Oh, oops. So this one, okay, I got it wrong actually, because the duration of this is how long it will take before our toast closes, and we don't want that to animate by that long, you know. And I don't know what the animation properties now. Interesting. We're not setting the property properly. Why is that? Container animation duration. Let's say hello. Is it because we need to give it to two hyphens here? Uh yeah, yeah. We need to give it two hyphens. Okay. Oh, why is duration undefined? Hmm. Ah, okay. Okay. So now if we click this, oh, come on, push. There we go. As you can see, it's like a turtle because it's taking 20 seconds long before it can animate to where it's originally at. And then when it gets there, it will be removed because it's exactly that long. And that is not what we want. Excuse me. Okay. Additionally, we should fix it down below. Duration in here, the progress bar. So this is what we want to give this dynamically. Okay. The animation duration to this guy. Was animation duration would be the value duration plus milliseconds. Okay. So this one should actually just be a local variable for this toast. And we could just say, oh, what happened? Okay, let me grab that in the timeline real quick. Copy and paste. Okay, very nice. So we can just change this into a local one. So maybe animation duration 300 ms. Okay, so why did I remove that? I can just declare that. Okay, so now if you check, oh, cool. What was it? Oh, what? Oh, right, I haven't removed it yet. Oh, mamma mia. Okay, there we go. As you can see, I think that's too slow. Let's put 200. Okay, much better. Okay, as you can see, if we're actually like not getting an animation when we close it, and we want to give this an animation, well, it's pretty simple, really. Excuse me. Ooh. So this is where okay. So const, that would be enter exit animation duration of the toast container. So we can say maybe 200. There we go. And then down below, and actually over here, let's declare it once again, because this is when we can make it dynamic. Very nice. Property. So we can just change. So the purpose of this is so that we can just change it in one place. So if we change the value here, it will cascade. Okay, it will change everywhere. So that's the very what do you call this, convenient part of JavaScript, or pretty much like dynamic typed stuff, or like assigning variables rather, not dynamic type stuff. Okay, anyway, animation duration, the value of, call this again, enter exit animation plus ms. I don't know why I'm using the addition sign now instead of the backtext, but it is what it is. Okay, so now this should still work even if we remove this over here. Okay, if I refresh again, there we go. Right, so to do the exit animation elegantly, we can say excuse me, that when we click on the button, or rather first we have a timeout here, const exit timeout, set timeout. So we want this to occur. Okay, so we want this to be responsible for animating the element, and whatever duration that we have for the exit animation, we need it to be that long before the element is gone. Exactly that long. So to do that, we can say toast duration minus the enter exit animation. So that is why, you know, we declared it in JavaScript as well, not just in CSS. And of course, we can separate the duration for both enter animation and exit animation. But in this case, I'm just combining them because they're the same. Okay. So now this will wait for that long before we animate. So what animate? Well, first we want to remove the class name from the container of animate slide left. And after that, we want to add the class name of animate slide right. Okay. All right. So over here, we just declare slide right. So animate slide right would be pretty much the same thing, but vice versa. We go slide right. So let's declare keyframes down here. Slide right. transform x 0 to transform x 100%. Okay. Oh, what happened? Oh, there we go. Over here, let's save that. And one more thing is to actually do the same thing for the button here. Okay. Excuse me. So when we click on the button, we want to clear the timeout for the exit. Okay. Then we just want to run this function here. So extract the logic once again, const animate out. So then we can reuse that like just like this. And you know what? Let's make this simpler. Remove toast. Excuse me. Then animate out. Okay. Then when we click on the button, we just animate out. Okay. Okay. Before we actually remove, we'll set a timeout when we click on the button. On this timeout would be, so we'll just remove equal to the enter exit animation duration, just like that. All right. And then, as you can see, we have an exit animation, and we're actually removing it from the DOM right here. Okay, we don't need to wait for 20 whole seconds. Okay, now let's do the progress bar. Now the progress bar will take about the duration of how long before the toast gets removed. And we just need to animate it quite slightly. So we just say toast progress. And you know what? Let's make this abstracted as well. So we'll just add a class of animate reduce width, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but it's what I called it. So reduce width is pretty much we want to reduce the width of the element that has this keyframe for animations to 0, just like so. And now if I show toast, and we're not getting anything. Why is that? Oh, of course. Animate reduce width animation is reduce width var animation duration. Oh, animation duration. Okay, we'll just give this an is, then forwards. Okay, and now it's still not working. Why is that? Okay, let me check real quick. Okay. Oh. Uh-huh. Reduce width. Toast. Okay. That's my bad. We gave it to the toast title. Okay. Let's give it to the toast progress. Okay. So now this should work. There we go. Okay. And that's officially it for the toast. And we can change this to 2 seconds to see the progress go very fast. There we go. And then we reach the end. Boom. We close. And we can close it very early. So, okay. Very nice. And I actually wanted the font family earlier because it looked pretty nice. But yeah, that's pretty much how you can make a toaster in JavaScript. And to make this more abstracted, we can actually like have the ID stored somewhere or something. Or maybe we can pass the ID around. Yeah, I need to find a way on how we can remove the toast based on its ID and not just like exactly inside where it was created. But anyway, that's pretty much how we can create one in a basic implementation. So yeah. And we can actually make a library with this. Probably will in the future. This is pretty fun to look at actually. Look at that. Dum dum dum. Boom boom boom. And it's pretty simple to stock this up. You can just say, uh, where is it? Down here. If it has a data stack equals to true, because you know, dynamic, if you're using a framework or such, precision, or absolute rather, absolute. Like that. And this will work. Oh, right. Data stack. True. Excuse me. Those container and its children of this card will have this position. So, oh, now what? Oops. Okay. Oh, I think it's just not generating. Oh, never mind. It's generating. Interesting. Okay, wait. Let me pause. All right. I forgot the, again, properties for absolute, where you want to position it. And in here, we want to position it at the top and at the right of its container, which is those container. And now, as you can see, it's stacking on top of each other. And if you want to get more complicated, we can translate it based on its stack, but we will not implement that. But yeah, there we go. That looks so nice. Okay, that's pretty much it. You can definitely improve on this, but this is how you can make your stuff dynamic, especially in animations, so that when someone wants you to change the duration or something, you can easily change it like near in 1 second. Excuse me. And it's also how you can get stuff in an element to, you know, append it in the HTML. Then you have no worries in JavaScript, in vanilla JavaScript. And yeah, this is actually much easier than using it than making this in React, but you know, this is pretty much how React is mostly made, but more complicated, of course. A lot of logic and such. Okay. Anyway, that's all. And thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. It just took a long while. This can definitely be made in around 20 minutes, but anyway, good luck on learning. Oh, good luck on your development journey and happy learning. And good night.